this McDavid, Skinner, and Brown trio. And, you know, on one hand, you're going to get an Evander Kane and a Leon Draisaitl back, and there's some other bodies coming into the lineup. But if this line plays well for the next couple of games, and maybe that is the biggest caveat we have to throw onto all of this, if this line plays well, do you not kind of want to see them get a shot in the playoffs? Like if they put together, and maybe it's hard because it's San Jose, but if you keep them together against Winnipeg and they pass that test, and you keep them together against LA, is this not an opportunity to really spread out some elite players in your lineup by saying, hey, if Connor can produce with Skinner and Brown, that opens up Hyman to play with someone else. That means Draisaitl can maybe have some better wingers. Like, do you kind of follow my logic there?
1,000%, dude. I feel like this team has the capabilities to then be incredibly deep down the middle. We've seen what Ryan Nugent-Hopkins can do as a third-line center with really whoever you get him. He's had chemistry with Pods, Arvidsson. He's done it with other guys. I think this team is crazy deep when Nuge is playing that 3C role. That even means Adam Henrique is playing 4C, which is a crazy thought when you look down the spine of the middle of your lineup. And that's what you want in the NHL playoffs, for me, is 4 solid centermen that you can trust in any situation. I know Jeff Skinner can score some goals. He's obviously going to be highly motivated to play in the NHL playoffs. He's never done it before. So I do think there's something with that. I, though, am a firm believer 97 is at his best with 18 on his wing, and vice versa. 18 is not the same player without 97. So I'm okay with the Jeff Skinner idea of him with Connor McDavid, but I don't think so about 28. I'm rolling with Zach Hyman. What about you?
And I do think ultimately they do go back to having Hyman on that wing for night one of the playoffs, and maybe where the conversation is more directed, like as good as Connor Brown has looked, is he really a guy that you want to trust with top line minutes in the playoffs? No. But is Skinner going to be the guy there? Can they trust Skinner? I know Bruce Kurlock kind of replied to one of my tweets and was like, hey, Skinner does some things that he still doesn't like and that the coaching staff probably wouldn't like come playoff time. But my point is, if you're that deep down the middle and you can spread out the talent that much, not that you're going to ever shelter Connor McDavid's minutes, and not that any other team's ever going to be like, maybe we don't have to put our best players out there against Connor McDavid. But if you can trust that McDavid, Skinner, and maybe it's Hyman, if you can trust Skinner up there to just survive and score a couple of big goals and he's not going to be a liability, then again, you're just putting some good talent lower in your lineup. Let's continue this conversation.
We always do talk about like the NHL playoffs. You need to score goals, and scoring goals is hard come the NHL playoffs. Jeff Skinner, Zach Hyman on 97's wing, that excites me.
Skinner's back up on that top line with McDavid. And listen, the Jeff Skinner conversation has been ongoing the entire regular season here. Out of the lineup, playing fourth line minutes. But basically from the 55 game mark on, Kris Knoblauch's shown some more trust in him. Do you think Jeff Skinner has changed his ways enough that he can be trusted with a top line assignment on night one of the playoffs next to McDavid?
I think so. I think you need to, man, it's tough because they're, by all likely accounts, I mean, they still have a chance at home ice against LA, but by all accounts, the way I'm looking at it, the way LA's playing, I mean, I feel like it's going to be interesting. So I just don't know how much room they have for error when it comes to the lineup against this LA Kings team. So, because, you know, I just don't know if it's there. And I'm still pretty, convinced that this is what it's going to end up being for the matchup in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't really see it being any way other than LA versus Edmonton. So for me, I hope that's the case. I don't want to be too wishy-washy with it, but, if he could play alongside McDavid and produce, I mean, that's all you could ask for, and that's why they brought him in, essentially. So people are basically asking, can we trust him to do what we signed him to do, which is play alongside McDavid and allow a lot more deeper, 4 lines that you can just roll. And I'm hoping that's what happens. It seems like he has been a lot better, and he's kind of figured out his role. And I mean, it does take time. Listen, playing with Connor or playing with Leon is a tough assignment, as much as people think you just plug and play and you're going to produce. I mean, that's not the case. They play at a different pace than everybody else in the NHL, and they're just such dynamic players that you really need to learn how to play off of them. And I think he's understanding that and learning that a little bit more and a little bit better. So it seems like it's working out. So hopefully he can stay that way, because allowing him to play alongside Connor will be huge for not only matchups, but getting Leon to play with Arvidsson, and then you could throw Hyman up with McDavid and Skinner, and you can really get creative with the lines and make it really deep.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.